Good morning. This is Dr. Rajesh Mehra, and I appreciate you joining us this morning in Women's Worldview. I'm honored and privileged to have in our studios again Ms. Donna Hilfiger, a very prominent figure in the community and all around the country, who is a life coach. Now, before we get into what is a life coach, I just want to share with you that we all have coaches for various aspects of our life, from being taught chemistry to playing football, tennis, and whatnot. So why not have a life coach? And she has traveled the world. She has spoken in many conferences and does motivational speaking, and her segment is called Motivational Moments. So let me introduce her to you and tell us about what is a life coach. Donna, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Looks like you've been getting a little bit of sun. You look so beautiful and tanned and all happy, like, you know, when you're out in the sun all day.
Well, talking about being a life coach, the beauty of being a life coach is you can coach from anywhere. Right. I can sit on the beach and that's my office. So, and I've done that before with people that I know.
I know, that's kind of neat. I wish I could do that. Play doctor sitting at the beach. I could do that forever because I love the beach. That's my favorite place, water. So what is a life coach?
It's just like any other coach. It's someone who helps you get better with your life. Because we all have moments in our life that we don't know what to do. We don't know who to turn to. And we'll call somebody up for marital advice and they're going through a divorce. Or we'll call somebody up and ask for advice with their children and their children are in a lot of trouble. So a life coach is somebody who can not have any bias whatsoever with what you're going through. And you know what I do is I've got laser vision into other people's stuff. When it comes to my life, I call a coach.
Right. Of course, you need help outside. So we had spent a lot of time last segment talking about training and whatnot, but today I want to focus and walk us through what exactly happens if I come to you and say, hey, Donna, I need help. What are you going to do? I mean, how do you approach, how do you set it up?
Okay. Well, for everybody out there listening, I'd say get your pen and paper out really quick because take notes, because this will help you. If you do these things that I'm going to be talking about each week.
This itself will help.
It will help you.
Right.
I mean, starting with when you get up first thing in the morning, what do? Most people go, oh my gosh, and slap the alarm clock and go.
Yeah, I go back to sleep. It's very easy.
Or they're in denial and they'll set their alarm off so that they think it's a different time other than what it really is.
Right.
That's not serving you. What will serve you is to get up in the morning and set an intention for the day. And some people probably out there going, what is an intention? How do you want your day to look like?
Okay.
If you get up in the morning and just allow life to happen to you, guess what? Things will just happen. And you're going to be a victim of your circumstances throughout the day. You're not victims. If y'all hear nothing else that I'm saying, you're not a victim. Decide today in this moment that, you know what, I'm going to take charge of my life and I'm going to decide what's going to happen to me. You ever notice that when you're in a great mood, traffic magically moves out of your way, you automatically get the front row parking spot. Exactly. Yeah. If you're getting up in the morning and you're like, oh God, now I gotta go take a shower, and you're half dead walking into the shower, you're getting dressed and walk out the door with 2 different color shoes on or 2 different color socks on, and you get in your car and you're just, life's going to happen to you and it's not going to be a great day. If you decide, and just try it, everybody out there try it. Just decide, I'm getting up and I'm setting an intention for my day, because intention, I'm telling you, is everything. If you simply set an intention for your day, it may not go exactly like you planned.
Are you saying attention or intention? Intention. Yes. Okay, intention.
Yes. It may not go exactly like you've planned, but I can tell you your days will get better and better and better. And if you take the best you out of your house into work, and decide, I'm going to be a solution in here and not a part of the problem, your work life will change also.
Excellent.
And even people out there going to school, who are saying, oh, but you don't understand, I got these bullies at school and blah, blah, blah. You can't attract something to you if you're not a vibrational match to it.
Exactly. So now let's say that I'm one of these people, and you described me pretty well. I have 3 alarm clocks set at different times. I turn all of them off and then curl up in bed.
Listen up, because I'm not going to be invited back.
Right. So you read me pretty clear. So then what other techniques, once we get through this intention and I come to you and say I have whatever problem I have, then how will you approach, is it the problem determine what techniques you use, or is it a generic technique for everything?
No, when I'm specifically coaching one-on-one people, then I will get into what specifically do you need. Where in your life are you stuck? What plateau are you at? And I'll guide you back and figure out, here's where it started. Do you see the patterns that you've created that, out of this problem all of your life? And people will go, whoa, I was working with somebody the other day, and I said, that she started telling me about something, and I said, don't tell me anymore. I'm going to show you how this is magic. And I walked her back through to her childhood, and she says, whoa, I can't believe this. And I said, I guarantee you haven't told me anything about what's going on now, but I guarantee you there's a pattern here, 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 and here that you've created over and over and over. It's like people get a divorce, and they take themselves with them and create a whole nother, either go get married again and create the same situation because they're taking themselves with them with all their brokenness.
So the problem continues.
Exactly.
Rather than being solved.
Exactly.
So you break the cycle of whatever we've set for ourselves as being the wrong behavior.
Exactly.
So is this kind of like behavior modification?
It's reprogramming your programming that's not working for you. And I've worked with people who what they think in their mind never really happened in their past. But when you believe that it happened, the subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. That's why you can talk to some people and they can tell you all kinds of stories that they believe it's happened in their life, and they're pathological liars because they believe it.
So you actually think that you can change then the programming you need to reprogram whatever it is.
Exactly.
Right.
If you believed at age 4 years old that you weren't lovable because your daddy that you love more than life itself spanked you, and you're still running this program at 50 years old that, oh, my dad, I'm unlovable, you're not even aware of this is where it started back here. And it is that simple. And we do carry it. I was working with somebody today on the way here over the phone, and I took him back through his childhood, and he said, whoa, I never connected the dots, but this is where it started. But I've got laser vision because I've been doing it for so long that I can guide them back. And then some people, yes, they can go, whoa, this is great, I got it. But a lot of people, if it's really deep ingrained within them, they need practice. It's like when you go to school, you don't learn your ABCs in a day.
Takes time.
Exactly. You've got to program it. You've got you've got to spend as much time, or not as much time, but you've got to spend time consciously reprogramming all this old programming that you've been carrying with you for years.
Sure, the mind, the behavior, the neurons, the psyche is a bit complicated.
Exactly.
I mean, we do this with a computer, don't we?
Exactly.
Right? We have a program, we tape over it or reprogram it or put another software on it, and that's sort of what it sounds like.
That's a great example. It's like we're running this old programming from way back in ancient programming, and once you get rid of that and update it with new programming, then your life magically changes.
Yeah, the computer runs so much better than it did before.
Exactly.
Now, what about how many sessions, how long does it take? Maybe a difficult question because I guess every individual case is different.
Right.
Does it normally take to get a person on the right track, if that's the right?
It all depends. It all depends. I used to tend to, I would, when I was working with people, it's like I'd be on the phone and I have to schedule all this length of time in between sessions, and when I realized I've gotten so good at being able to identify, and then people will go, okay, let me take a week or so. But a lot of people will do, maybe 6 sessions and then take off a little bit, or some people just need one session. Depending on what the problem is and how complicated it is, depends on, it's all individualized. Gotcha. And if somebody's really ready to say, I want change in my life, I'm not living like this anymore, they can bust through it just like that.
Excellent. Now, what about other techniques that you use, though? Do you use yoga? Do you use meditation? What are some of the other techniques that you've learned over the years that you use in your kind of bag to help people?
One of the main techniques I use so many different techniques depending on who I'm working with. I mean, I've got a whole bag of things that I've learned over the years because no two people are the same. And one of the main techniques I use, it's called tracing and changing patterns. And that's what I said, where you go back to, where did this start? What age did this start? And once you identify that, some people, they don't even remember their childhood, so you have to ease them back. And then oh, well, wow, well, and then you go, what did you think that happened? It's like, I'll give you money, for example. I teach a money class, and I love teaching it because money has nothing whatsoever to do about the money. It's what we believe about money, what we believe about zeros behind dollars. But people get so wrapped up and so uptight about money, and I love talking about it because we were all told, not all of us, but a lot of us were told, money doesn't grow on trees. Money's the root of all evil. You know, rich people are not nice people, or whatever it is that we're believing.
Programmed, right.
From our parents and from our teachers, and from when we're little, we're sponges taking on everybody else's belief system, and we don't even know what we believe about money or anything else that we've taken on from somebody else. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So what you're saying is you go back. I mean, I took a few psychology courses. I don't remember much, but sounds like something called regression. Isn't that something that you go back to kind of regress into your childhood to see what's going on and then use that to help?
Not really. Not really. I use kinesiology, which is muscle testing, and I'm really good at it because I've been doing it for so long. And I'll go, okay, well, age 7. What's the first thought that comes to your mind? It's going to trigger a memory. They'll get into it, and we'll move right through it. It's not like you have to go back and talk about this and remember this. And exactly, it's quick, it's fast, and it works.
I'm sure it does. Well, this has been most educational, helpful. I hope you took good notes. I hope you practice intentional waking up. Tomorrow, I'm going to have only one alarm, and it'll be set for the time that I'm supposed to wake up rather than 3 alarms. So I'm going to be your first student tomorrow and see if I can jump out of bed. How about that?
All righty.
Okay, so join us again next week when we will continue this discussion on life coaching, on ways to have a better life and better day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.